Hi, folks. It's Christine here from Hokama Sewing and Vacuum in Redding, California. Did you know that you can use a serger for more than just clothing and finishing your seams? You absolutely can. And I've got a few projects here I'd like to show you as examples of some of the things, a small fraction of the things you can actually do. This entire quilt block was pieced on a serger. Now, the beauty of that for me is that these are super strong stitches. I don't have to worry about them coming out. Um, and they finish my seams really well. And I know I've had a lot of folks that have been concerned about bulk on when we do quilting pieces. It just isn't there. They iron flat. It's absolutely beautiful. Those stitches help keep everything nice and in line. So this is a block that went into a quilt. And the entire quilt was pieced on a serger. Super fast, super easy, and a lot of fun to watch it come together. I also have this piece. Now, I embroidered using a baby lock embroidery machine, a piece of just fleece, and then I added a decorative rolled hem to the edge of it all the way around. Another really quick project to do that will garner a lot of great attention, and it can be personalized, which is something I love to be able to do. Sometimes I have more creative ideas than I actually have time for, and being able to do a project like that to give to somebody I love, that's pretty priceless. This is a rolled hem on a piece of baby flannel. And the only thing that makes it baby flannel is the print. But I just used a matching thread, serged all the way around the edges, and I have a receiving blanket. The nice thing about this kind of thing too is you can buy the flannel when it's on sale and have a bunch of these sitting and waiting for the next baby that comes along. This one is kind of near and dear to me because it's actually one of the first big projects I completed on my serger as a newbie, as somebody who hadn't really serged at all, who was still scared of that little bitty knife on it. And I was still able to be very successful and make this bag. We've got decorative stitching on the front, done on the cover stitch portion of the Triumph. We have belt loops, binding that was done to create these decorative straps. The handles were serged on the edge for decorative effect and for stability. And the entire thing was pieced and put together, including the binding on it, even though this is screening, was done on a Baby Lock Triumph. It'll absolutely do it. And I've done it on the smaller Baby Lock machines as well. Here is another example of a quilt that was put together and pieced on a Baby Lock serger. We have a rolled edge that was used on either side of the ruffling, and then the cover stitch portion of the machine was used to do a single stitch right down the center of the ruffling to create the ruffling and to attach it. Again, everything but the binding in this particular piece was done on a serger. And here's the funny thing. We can actually do the binding on it too now. I love attaching my binding with my Baby Lock serger. It's fast, it's clean, and I get a really nice rollover, which is nice. Here's another fun piece. That's just a little decorative piece. All of this stitching here is done with basically a 2-thread ladder stitch. And then if we look here at our little flowers, they're just folded over pieces of fabric that have been serged on all sides to finish the edge. And they made these beautiful little tulips out of them and sewed them in place. So that's a fun piece. There's a lot of things that we can do creatively with our Baby Lock sergers. This is a purse that is in progress. I don't have the handles on it yet, but you can see the decorative stitching here. This was done just with a basic overlock, 4-thread overlock with decorative threads on both sides. And then I took my sewing machine and I sewed up one side and then down the other. I used a rolled hem to create my pin tucking. I used my gathering foot to create my ruching here in the middle. I did the piping on the serger. I can install a zipper on my serger using that piping foot. I absolutely love it. And then some more decorative stitching. I've got the ladder stitch on one side, and the back side of the ladder stitch is a serpentine. So it's just using the back side of the same stitch to get a totally different effect. And then of course the rest of it was pieced. Now I have a fairly large or fairly heavy stabilizer in this bag, and my serger boxed the corners with that stabilizer and all. She'll handle a lot. Here's a fun technique. This is called serger crochet, and it is simply doing a 4-thread overlock in the widest stitch over itself and moving out a little bit each time to create the lace work. Lots of great effect. It's a lot of fun, and it turns a very simple piece of Christmas fabric into a Christmas tabletop doily. So that's a fun one. And again, that goes back to using our beautiful decorative threads. Here is another piece that we got to do at one of our baby lock trainings. And this is a safety stitch, but used for decorative effect. It's all the cover stitches, and then it is also an overlock. And then we've got some decorative stitches that we did. And those of you that know my husband Hardy, he actually did this piece. He's going to take things to the limit to see if they'll do it. And he was able to do curves and circles with the cover stitch portion of the Triumph using the new table. And then there's the back side of it. Again, all decorative. This was designed to hold a tablet. And then the last piece I have here is kind of what we call a mixed media piece, because we used a serger to put together decorative panels that we did on our embroidery machine. And if you look closely here, this is an overlock. So instead of putting right sides together in this case, we put wrong sides together and then used an overlock to put our pieces together for a really nice defining effect on it. Almost like we put sashing in. Almost. I hope you found this to be a fun little tour of just some of the things you can do with your Baby Lock Serger. We look forward to seeing you soon.